Hi, welcome back to Cross the Globe. My name is Stephanie and I am alone today. My sister Allison is not here because all we are talking today about is the release of Cupid Collective Volume 1. So if you love to stitch Valentine's Day, or if you don't normally love to stitch Valentine's Day, but you are curious about this collection, I think I can entice you with it to stitch a little Valentine's Day this year. So Allison didn't need to be here because she was on our last, on Flosstube. I showed her the model. I got to get her oohs and ahs, and, but I figured I would record this. I wouldn't make her, and I thought I was going to go record it at her house. And then I was like, that's silly. I can get my office cleared. Like, I have the pile, this office needs to be clear. You guys will see it. I have a date scheduled on the calendar for when I'm going to record an office tour, and that is a drop dead harsh deadline for myself to get this place and filming order. But anyway, I digress. So if you're new to the channel, this is a channel about cross stitch, and today I'm talking about a collection of cross stitch patterns that is being released. That is an exclusive collection. If for some reason this is the first video of mine you're ever seen, we are a cross stitch channel. I usually have my sister Allison with us. We are a Flosstube, so we talk about our personal stitching, things that we're working on, all the project bag piles around me. Back to the topic at hand. Cupid Collective Volume 1. What is the Cupid Collective, you may be wondering? So Donna from Stitch X Love, she is a designer. She also is an avid thrifter, which is kind of how we bonded, and has sent us some like amazing stuff that she's found out and about. And also like, I've seen her eBay, like I get notified on my eBay notifications are sometimes full of her cool stuff that she's found. But she's also a designer, and she decided to make a charity bundle. Charity bundle is kind of typically what they're called, selected for organizations that would be worthy of getting donations. And so instead of paying for the patterns, you make a donation to one of the organizations, and then we send you the patterns. So it's a great way to spotlight and support organizations that are doing really great work. Let me show you guys the patterns, and then I'll talk about the organizations that you can, because I know when you see the pattern, you're like, well, I probably need that. And then we can talk about the organizations that you can pick from, and then we'll talk about how to get it. Okay. So, I did show this on our last Flosstube, I already said, but this is Bug Quaker. This is, if you're not familiar with my patterns, I do a lot of, designs like these two that are based on my travel photography. I'm a professional travel writer, hence the thrifted map of the United States for when I film travel videos in the future. Anyway, so that's kind of normally what my work is. And this, when I got invited to do this collection, I was like, I don't have a ton of like romantic photos that would translate as a small, because like sometimes my designs work better like as like a larger pattern like that's 8x10. But then I remember this little cute Volkswagen Beetle, or a love bug, if you will, that I had a photo of from Mexico. And I did chart it full coverage, so it was like this size and style in terms of like it had a full background. But then as I was thinking about the pattern more and like what the pattern really symbolized to me, the place that it was taken was really not as important as the meaning of the car. And I just kind of had this vision one day of the car that I'd already, because I charted the whole thing. So I had a vision of the car, but on like a very cool toned pink background with Quaker motifs around it, so that it was more kind of just, it could be anywhere, it could be for anyone. So the original car that I saw was in Playa del Carmen, Mexico, and it was parked at this, like a little seaside hotel that also has like a spa, and we went there for like a snack after we got off of a bus. But anyway, so you sit kind of beside the Caribbean, and you just kind of take it in, and it's so wonderful and lovely. And it is lovely, and the place is lovely. But that car being there, you know, that car goes on adventure. She could go anywhere. So to me, I feel like our little red car is romantic if your idea of a wonderful Valentine's Day is you and a partner. But if your idea of Valentine's Day is you alone having an adventure, well, this is the perfect size car to drive alone off into the sunset, into your own magical adventure. I currently, I just got separated, and so I'm really loving Valentine's Day this year more than I have in years. And I think it's because, anyway, I digress. But then also this is perfect if your perfect Valentine's Day is you and a couple of kids, or you and a partner and a couple of kids, like, or you and some friends. Like, the car is romantic and adventurous, but it doesn't have a definition of who needs to be inside it to enjoy it. So I really love it. And I love it with these Quaker motifs. And it's stitched on 16 count Aida, which I dyed myself. I really was picturing Bestitch Me's Petunia in my head, but I didn't have any of it. And it was when I envisioned this, it was too late to make a change to get that, because that is a hand-dyed fabric. And I don't live near any L&S where I could just go in and buy like a good one. I'm about 90 minutes away from the Silver Needle, and I just really didn't have time. So I did dye it myself. Somebody asked me in the comments when I showed it, so I'll show you guys. It's dyed with rose quartz Rit dye. I think I used more, like, I think I would have liked it if it had been like a little bit babier pink than it turned out to be. So if you do decide to dye your own fabric, and you want to do what I did, I think I used too much. I would go a little bit lighter on this. Like, you can go on their website and see formulas for like pinks that use this. And I wanted kind of the lightest one. I think I went too dark. But this is just a craft store frame. I looked at like 7 thrift stores for frames. I'm not kidding, because I was going to thrift stores anyway for my thrifting channel. And I could not find a good frame. I just was looking for like a 6x4 or 4x6 white or red frame. Couldn't find it. So this is a craft store frame. I really tried to find a thrifted frame. I do prefer thrifted frames. I think they're like more interesting than craft store frames, but it is what it is. So that is my design and the thinking behind my design. And obviously, if you watch my channel, you might be interested in my design, but I hope you're interested in the rest of the designs too, because they're amazing. They're so good. Okay, so I'm gonna go in the order that they were in the zip drive that I received with the pattern. So I already got a copy of what you guys will get. What's very cool is that you get all 7 patterns as separate PDF files. So if you, whether you're printing the patterns or you're using them in like markups or markup or a pattern keeper, you're only having to actually like fiddle with the one pattern at a time. You don't have to like figure it out. It's not like a book. Which I thought was really convenient because I already have them loaded up in my markup RXP. Okay, so To Be Loved, I'm going to show you guys the patterns here. To Be Loved by Sprouting Lupin. If you watch my channel, you know I have 2 Sprouting Lupin patterns on the go already. I love this one. I'm going to save this one, I think, for next year. But if you were like, if you love, but you're not like into Valentine's Day, this is not a Valentine's Day palette. You could convert it into a Valentine's Day palette easily, but this is just a beautiful spring palette, which also means if you're like, well, I have other stuff I want to do, but maybe I want to stitch something in March or April, like this is so beautiful. There are beads. Of course, you can replace the beads with French knots if you don't want to do the beads, but I think the beads are so pretty and I just love it. All right, the next one, like Love Drum by Bindi Stitchy. I might start this tonight. And by tonight, I mean last night, like before the collection's even officially out. This is so good. And when I was dyeing fabrics for my pattern, I also dyed this and this because I was playing around with. So the one I did was just pure this, and then I played around with mixing it with cherry red. So this was like a combo of the two. And then this one was just cherry red. And I think the red, because she has it on Wataru. It's a Fox and Rabbit fabric. And this has been sitting on my desk for 2 weeks, and I just think it needs to be stitched. And I was thinking this would be so pretty. I mean, I don't know if I'd finish it this year, but I think it would look so good with my other Valentine's Day stuff. I think I have to start it. I think I just need to start it. Also, if I stitch it on the 16 count Aida, that will be a nice break in between other projects. Obviously I don't need to iron this before I start stitching. This is kind of like what it looked like after it dried, and I only ironed this when I was gonna stitch. But I think this was meant to be together, and and also like if I stitch it this year, then I can actually get it into a drum. by next year. Okay, so amazing. All right, the next one is Bones Not Gender by Soft Girl Stitches. It's so cute. Now, the stitch model is so good. And I went and looked at the pattern because I was curious about, I never turn my devices on. I was curious about like how it was stitched, and it's actually stitched with a black, and then there's a ecru shadow, which is really good on white, but also would be like really good on almost any color. Coughing fit. A lot of these patterns would be great stash busters. Even mine, which I didn't mention this, but mine has 15 colors of DMC to get the shading and stuff on the car. But you could pick a different main red, you know, like, because this outside red is all one color. Like, so anyway, I think Bones Not Gender would look good on a lot of colors. And it's like, I think it was, a lot of these patterns are under 1,500 stitches. Mine's a little more because to get a car, it's stitch heavy. Mine's about 3,000-ish, but a lot of these are under 2,000 and some are even under 1,000. So plenty of time to get one like started and finished by Valentine's Day if you decide that's what you want to do. But also, if you want to start this year and finish it next year, good for you too. All right. So the next one is Hogs and Kisses by Stitch Tits. This one's so cute. I really like this one. I really want to stitch this one. I think it would be so cute on like another, like on a, like a pink fabric where the pig kind of pops out of it, but it's more like a little more tone on tone. And so it kind of like, I think it's so cute. I love it so much. The next one is A Very Fishy Valentine by D's 20 Stitches. This one's so sweet. I love it. I just love it. And I think like my son would appreciate if it was part of the display, you know, like I think, I just love it. Like it's so different than, what I would normally think of as Valentine's Day. But then when you see it, you're like, oh, that's perfect. Like it's so like, I love it. And I love the decorative border, and I love the way that the water is, like, I just love it. And then, Tokens of Love by Donna, who is Stitch X Love, who is the mastermind behind all this. It's so good. And then don't you think it would look good on this? I haven't checked the size, but I think this pattern belongs on this other piece of fabric that I dyed. And then all three of these, if they went together, they're all like, you know, different shades from the same two bottles. I think they would be great as a little clutch. I mean, I want to, okay, I thought this video was going to be like 8 minutes. I want to stitch every one of these patterns. I can't talk anymore about this because this video cannot be more than 20 minutes. That would be crazy. I'm going to read the description for the 4 organizations. I believe that Kat from Sprouting Lupin wrote these descriptions out. So I want to give her credit. I believe she wrote all 4, but I know she wrote at least 2. Rainbow Railroad. Why we love Rainbow Railroad. Rainbow Railroad is a global organization that focuses on keeping LGBTQIA plus people safe through relocation, cash assistance, providing information, and crisis response. We love their continued work to protect the queer community, particularly in a time when homophobia and transphobia is on the rise, not only in general society, but in policies and law. The next organization is Otro Lado. Why we love Otro Lado. Otro Lado focuses on protecting asylum-seekers, deportees, and immigrants and their rights. We love their commitment to translating information and providing legal aid to those in need, and their dedication to righting injustices and reunifying families. A Loving Spoonful. Why we love A Loving Spoonful. A Loving Spoonful is a Vancouver-based organization that provides daily nutritious meals to people living with HIV and coexisting illnesses. We love the way they care for those that help. We love the way they care for those they help by offering multiple options to ensure the meals are able to be eaten and provide the energy needed to fight infections. Pace Society. Why we love Pace Society. Pace Society is a Vancouver-based organization run by and with sex workers, focusing on harm reduction for sex workers. We love their commitment to self-determination and trusting that those they help know what they need best, as well as their inclusion for people of all genders. So those are the 4 wonderful organizations that we have chosen to support. And the way that you make a donation, I will link to, in the description, I'm going to link to all of them. So I'm going to link to our the Cupid Collective landing page that Dawn has set up that has pictures of all the patterns again and has links to all of the donations and lists the email address. But then I will also list out the links to all of the organizations separately, just in case you know, like, this is the one I want to go to, you want to just get to it. The way that you get the bundle. So the bundle is $15 USD or $20 Canadian. And you can, so what you do is you go to the organization directly, donate at least 15 USD or at least 20 Canadian to the charity or the nonprofit. Email a screenshot with proof of your donation to this email address, cupidcollectivecrossstitch@gmail.com. We have all been, well, we all signed up to cover the mailbox for 2 days. So we will reply with a zip file within 24 hours. So if you do it at 2 a.m., you're going to get it when the person like wakes up. But if you do it, you know, so we all have like our assigned days. I think I'm Tuesday and Wednesday of this week if you want to get an email from me, but you should do it on Saturday. So that's how you get the bundle. That's how much it is. All of these designs are exclusive to the bundle, and there is a period of time that they will remain exclusive to the bundle. I'm not exactly sure who will be releasing what when. So I probably will forget to release my pattern for a long time. So please, if any of those organizations interest you, if the patterns interest you, please pick one of those organizations and make your donation and send an email. Editing Stephanie here. Forgot one very important thing. The collection is only available from February 1st to February 14th. I think I said that like the patterns were exclusive to the collection, but they're exclusive, like you can only get the collection until February 14th. So get it today. The video is coming out on Saturday, February 1st. First day it's available. Get it ASAP so you can be stitching it. But if you like realize later you have FOMO, you can only get it through the 14th. Okay. And if you do stitch it, please tag me on Instagram. Here's my Instagram account. I would love to see it and share it, especially if you are stitching it during the window when the collection is available, so that I can share it and hope other people want to do it too. I am going to start, by the time you see this, I probably will have already started Love Drum. I just feel like this has to happen. I might look through my other flosses and see if there's anything I want to deal with more, but they're amazing. And I know a few of you said that you wanted to get this because you were going to stitch this. If you stitch this, please tag me. But if you stitch anything from the collection, please tag me so that I can share it. I'm so excited to be a part of this collection. It's so good. This video is way too long, so I'm going to wrap it up. If you made it to this point in the video, please leave any color heart that you would like. And if you're not subscribed and you want to see what the most expensive kits for last year were, which is a lot more than $15, subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.